Welcome back to this great intro, this great channel. Today we're going to learn how to make chocolate chip cookies using the Toll House recipe that's behind every bag of chocolate chips. I think it's behind. This one has a different one though. This one has an oatmeal. Milk chocolate oatmeal cookies and one for fudge. But I got the traditional Toll House cookie recipe on the internet. So what we're gonna do is step one is preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Okay, so you're gonna go to your oven and you're gonna press bake. So some ovens, mine says bake, and then there's another bake that has like a circle on it, and that's a baking with like the air or something. That's some like basically like air frying, I guess. I don't know. It has to do with using the air, hot air. But I don't want to mess with that. I've never even used it. I've never tried it before. I don't want to mess with it. Like I feel like the recipe would just go to waste because I've never tried it, and you know, so let's just preheat the oven to 375. So you're gonna go to your oven. My oven's right here. Bake, and then it's gonna have numbers, you know. So just 375. Just check that your oven is clear. And this is something I don't know if you can hear me. This is something I struggle sometimes with, is the placement of the rack. That's another thing you have to know. The placement of the rack has a lot to do with your cooking. So if it's really down low, it's gonna burn, obviously, because it's closer to the fire, to the heat. And if it's really high up, it's barely gonna get any heat. So I think the rule of thumb, I think that's what you call it, the rule of thumb, is put it in the middle. And I think mine's in the middle. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I think mine might be in the middle. I think it's fine. Just check that. So just check that your oven is empty before you press, you know, bake. Because if you have stuff in there, because moms like to put stuff in the oven, you don't want to burn it. So first 375, and why should we preheat the oven? Because by the time you're done mixing everything, the oven's probably not even going to be done heating itself. So yes, the oven takes a while to heat itself. So first of all, wash your hands if you haven't already. Nobody likes to get sick, and that's the main reason people get sick with like food, because they don't wash their hands. So wash your hands. Now, we're gonna need a bowl, okay? I have 2 bowls. I have a small one and I have a bigger one. I was gonna use the smaller one, but I'm gonna use the bigger one because I feel like stuff is not gonna like spill over. And for this for this recipe, I'm going to be using a KitchenAid mixer, which is this one. So this has already a bowl, so you need total of 2 bowls, I think. If I need more bowls, I'll let you know. So I'm gonna try to do this fast so that my oven doesn't, not too fast, but. So first things first, our ingredients, you know, I'm gonna post the the link to the recipe so you can follow along, and then you can follow along with this video as well. So the ingredients are 2 1/4 cups all-purpose flour. So we're gonna get our flour. So we're just gonna spoon it in here. So this is what you're not gonna dip it in here, okay? You're just gonna spoon the thing in here. Just like this. Okay. This thing has a thing. We're gonna level it now, okay? So we're gonna take this top off, but leveling it. Usually like to get these little holes, but so see, now it's level, right? So this is 1 cup. I'm gonna put it in here. So we need another cup. So again, we're spooning it in. And I really hope you try this recipe because baking is fun. I've been wanting cookies for a while. So you just make some. You know, I have the ingredients because I bake a lot. So that's why I can make some. I had these chocolate chips by coincidence because I had made another recipe of pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. So it's number 2. So since I have them, I can make them. It was either that or brownies because I have a brownie mix too. You don't need chips for that. So now it calls for a 4th cup. So you do the 2 and a 4th. So a 4th. Just trying to be extra careful because I hate getting sick. And like I said, like the main reason people get sick with like food is because they don't wash things properly. So again, we're gonna level it. And you have to spoon it, okay? Let's repeat it. You have to spoon it in because, or else you'll get too much. So here is our flour. So now it says, so the step number 1 was preheating the oven. Step number 2 is combine the flour, the baking soda, and salt in a small bowl. So we have to combine the flour, the baking soda, bake the baking soda. See, it even has a picture of cookies. It even has a recipe for cookies. Which is, I think, the exact same recipe. Okay, so we have probably the same company. I don't know. So we need the baking soda, the salt, and the flour only, okay? So the salt is 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So we're gonna get our measurement that it says 1 teaspoon, okay? You gotta make sure it's a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. Gotta reread it and, you know, make sure it's the teaspoon. So I am going to just, this one you can, I think you can, it's fine if you spoon it. I'm actually not sure if you're supposed to not spoon it or, so I'm like banging on it because there's like a lot of like big pieces. I just want it to be, so I'm gonna take the edge of this, you can use like a spoon or something, and just level it off again. So now see, perfect 1 teaspoon. So we're gonna put this in here. I'm done with this, and then we're gonna do the 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm actually using kosher salt. Okay, you level it off again. So we have our salt. Okay, it's a teaspoon of salt. So what do we have? We have the flour, the baking soda, and the salt. Okay, so now we're going to mix it. So you can use a spoon, whatever. You can use this. So this is combining. This is combining. Okay, this is what they mean by combine. You mix it. The flour, the baking soda, and the salt only. Okay. Okay. So I'm pretty sure this is well mixed already. We're gonna set that aside. So now, also when you're gonna do your thing, you have to put your butter outside so it like softens, you know. Mine's is soft already. So now we're going to beat the butter, the granulated sugar, and the brown sugar and vanilla extract in a large mixer bowl. So we're going to take our bowl, our mixer bowl. You don't have to use a stand mixer. You can just use a handheld whisk thingy, handheld mixer. So this whole thing is a cup. I'm gonna take my butter and cut it into pieces since it's not like fully softened. So I can't really tell, but I'm just gonna cut it into pieces so that's easier to mix. I do have this special cookie tool, but I'm not gonna use it. I think it's for the cookies or the butter. I don't know. I think it's for mixing the cookie batter. So just like this, just little cubes is fine. It's just so that it mixes faster, like I said. Or is easier to beat, I mean. Oh, I forgot I needed 2 eggs. So, can you see what I'm doing? Because I can't see what I'm doing. So easy. Maybe you can even make cookies for work if like you're into that and people are nice. So we have our butter. We have our butter in here. So we're gonna put the granulated sugar next in the bowl. It's 3/4 cup. This is the 3/4 cup. I'm just gonna use this as a spoon. Again, sometimes, actually, this one. Just break up those little clumps. And so 3/4. This one you don't have to spoon it in, but it's easier for me right now with this. So level it. You always have to level it, okay? So this is a 3/4 granulated sugar. So you're gonna put it in here. And then we're going to take, this is the packed brown sugar. At the store, I always get confused because there's one called light brown sugar or golden brown sugar. I've never seen just brown sugar, so I just take the golden one. I think that's, so this one you want to, this one's packed, so this one you want to put it in there and pack it in there, okay? You see what I'm doing? I'm pushing it in. Okay, that's pretty packed. Okay, so it's a 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar. So 3/4. Just follow the recipe, everything like to how it says. There is a step that says, so this you can add chopped nuts. You can or you can't. I don't have chopped nuts, so I'm not gonna add them. But and it says, if omitting, like if you don't add it, to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. So I don't think I've ever done this. So we're gonna add those 2 tablespoons to our thing right here. So this is 1. I'm just gonna add the 1. Just because it says you don't, if you're not using nuts, you know, don't do it. So I'm gonna turn off. I am gonna turn off my oven because I'm not done doing this, and I don't want it to just be wasting resources. So we put the sugar and we need the vanilla extract. So this is a Mexican brand, so just get pure vanilla. Vanilla is kind of expensive. It's cheaper at Costco and you'll get a bigger thing, but if you're not using it if you're not going to use, you know, for a while, a lot, you know, just use a little bit. I mean, buy just like a small bottle. So it's 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So one teaspoon. So what I've learned is don't measure it on top of the thing. Just measure it off to the side. So 1. There you go. Now once the butter, the granulated sugar, the brown sugar, and the vanilla extract is in the thing, so we're gonna beat it with this thing, okay? So once this is creamy, I don't know if you can hear me over the noise, but once this is creamy, we're gonna add 1 egg at a time, okay? So that means we're gonna put, once it's creamy, we're gonna put 1 egg in it and finish until it's done mixing completely, and then we'll add the other egg, okay? And you know what? I did a rookie mistake. I can't believe it. And I wondered it. You know, I'm just following the recipe as it's telling me. But I think I did do a rookie mistake, which is beating the butter. So first, and I've done it before, and I doubted it. And I said, you know, don't I have to do this? But I was just like, okay, I'll just follow the recipe. Like, I didn't really think it through. Is first you have to beat the butter. So here, first what we're gonna do is put the butter in there and wait till that mixes. And I didn't do that, but it's okay. It's okay. Some recipes do call for beating the butter first separately and then adding the sugars into it. But I don't know if I'm reading the recipe wrong, or maybe this is just how you're supposed to do it. Is beating everything all together. I don't know. If this turns out okay, then just beat it all together. So this is creamy now. This is all, you know, this is creamy. It's like soft. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my spatula and I'm gonna clean out the edges so that everything gets a good mix. I'm just pulling it down so everything gets a good mix. I'm pretty sure it's done already. Okay, so that's creamy already. So I'm gonna add the egg in. So just make sure you don't have any shells in it or something like that. So I'm just gonna crack it in here. Because sometimes you will get a shell that goes into it or something. I hate shells, so just, you know, look at it. No shells, good to go. So you're gonna put it in here. And let it fully mix, okay? You can get the other one ready. So, this egg is fine, so we're gonna mix after this thing is already done. Mixing with the first egg, you add the other egg. Okay. So after the egg is done mixing itself, we're going to add the flour like in little bits at a time. So I would probably do it, since I have this 1/4 cup, I'll do it in like this, in 1/4 cup. You don't have to level it up, okay? And you're gonna add it a 1/4 cup at a time, okay? Until it's done mixing, and then you add it again. And you just gradually add it, okay? So again, we're gonna go on the sides because there's like a bit of egg on the sides. I'm just gonna scoop it down. Okay. Do this too. So that we get all the cookie. You probably already smelled the cookie. Okay. So that's going on. We're gonna add bits of it. Gradually beating the flour mixture, okay? Just always follow directions. So that's happening. Just gonna keep adding it a little bit at a time. We're gonna get our pan ready as well, because I am running out of memory in the memory card. So we're gonna get some parchment paper. Didn't cut it right. Because we're not going to waste it. We're just going to cut off the excess. So for me the excess is this. Brushing now. Fine, it doesn't have to be perfect. Done with the flour. And again, we're going to scoop down everything. Why did I say that? Because okay, so that's done. So we're just gonna, pour this out. What like to do, which is kind of dangerous, is actually spin it. And I don't recommend you doing this. Spin it while it's still in here, but not in the batter, and then it'll just like okay. You're not supposed to do that way. Oh look, all of it's off, almost. So I am gonna use my fingers. They're for me anyways. My hands are clean anyways too, so. We're gonna get all this cookie off of it because we need all the cookie batter. Yeah. Okay, so that's enough. The other thing we're gonna do is the last thing we're gonna do actually. Is just mix in the chocolate. And this you have to use like a spoon for it, okay? So this called for 2 cups. I didn't measure it. Because it's half, oh shit. It's half the bag anyway, so. See, that's 1 cup and I already have like, sometimes you don't want to put too much because then it's just gonna all be chocolate. So you mix it with your hand. And I added like half a cup, so we can just add half a cup in when we're done putting it on the tray. We just put them on top. So okay, this is so lower the camera a little bit. So what we're gonna do now is in your pan, you're gonna put your parchment paper on there. So now I'm gonna turn on my oven again because now I'm ready. Okay. So ignore the whole oven thing. So I'm gonna put my parchment paper here. It's kind of ugly, but it's fine. I'm not gonna waste it. So I have a special cookie scooper, and so I'm just gonna, scoop right, like not overfill it, and then just gonna drop it in here. Okay, just like that. Sometimes your what I want to say is you can use, I think, like a tablespoon. This is like a little bit over a tablespoon, I think, or if anything, it is a tablespoon. It's a little bit more than a tablespoon. It's probably 2 tablespoons. I'm not sure. You just scoop them into however big you want them to be. Okay. So we're just gonna do that. Over and over, okay? Until you have the whole tray full. Alright? Okay, so once we have our cookies spooned, equal parts, separated, right? I'm just gonna add, since I didn't add that other cup of, like half a cup, it was like half a cup. I'm just gonna add a little one in the middle, Usually add a little bit more. These cookies look like they're gonna be, well no, they're gonna be like normal size cookies. So, I don't know, maybe it's like a little touch. Actually, because they're a little soft, we're gonna put them in the freezer for just a little bit so that they get a little bit harder, and then we could just scoop out more while we're waiting for those to harden a little bit, because they are a little bit too soft and I don't want them to go too flat. So we're gonna do that. So our oven is ready at 375, and now we're going to put the chilled cookies. They chilled for like just a little bit, but they're slightly harder. So just be careful not to burn yourself or your camera. Just perfectly in the center. Okay. So the recipe calls for 9 to 11 minutes, so I'm just gonna put 9 minutes. Press start. Okay. So if they're not done in the 9 minutes, then I'll add the extra 2 minutes. Okay. So these just came out of the oven. I put them for 10 minutes, 30 seconds. I think see they're brown from the bottom, which is good, and they have a nice little color. So I added this little, well, it looks creepy, this one chocolate. So now it looks creepy with the one chocolate. But you have to let it cool. It said let it cool on the sheet for 2 minutes, but I don't want it to keep cooking. So I wanted to keep cooking, so that's why I transferred them to the wire rack, which is just this wire thing. If you don't have one, it's fine. You can just take it off the hot pan onto you know, the paper, into whatever surface that you want. I did notice that for the reviews of this recipe online, and people were posting pictures too, that they came out really flat and just a total mess. And you see, that's why I'm making this video, for the people that make that mess. These look good to me. These look like cookies, because that's what they're supposed to look like, and it tastes good. But if you see all those review pictures, it's like, what the hell happened? Like, half of the pictures on there are like, they're like burnt. Finally got my cookie craving done with. Now it's time to give them away. Usually that's what I usually do with the things that I make. I just give them away. Everything that I bake, I just give it away. Give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away. Yeah. So there you have it. Easy peasy cookies. Putting them in the freezer does, I think, help a little bit. I've never done that before. I did it in a class, and I just thought, I don't even know if I don't even think, oh, actually, yes, I did put them in the freezer, in the blast chiller, or whatever it's called. I did put them in there for the second time I did it, because they did come out really flat, and that was the first time ever that I've ever done in my cookie career. First time ever that my cookies came out really flat. So, you know, it might not be you, it might be your oven, because it was some weird oven we were using at that class, and I don't know. Another thing that I like for a cookie is to add a sprinkle of salt. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of salt and add a sprinkle. That's enough. You see? And that will give it, that little sprinkle of salt will give it this just weird salty like taste to it, but it makes it taste like so much different and better. I like it equal, you know, with the salt or without the salt, but the salt really gives it this this like weird flavoring, and it doesn't even taste like any. You get like I don't even know what I'm saying. You don't get a weird flavor, okay? It doesn't taste nasty. It doesn't taste weird. You just get that one little piece of salt, and it like balances out all the sweet with that one little piece of salt. It makes it like, you can try it. A lot of people eat their cookies like that. You can try it. Definitely worth the try. With the little, just a little bit of salt. I showed you. So just clean your mess and enjoy your cookies. You can do it. You can make cookies. It's possible. You just gotta do everything how it's supposed to be done. And you can just have cookies without going to the store. I don't know. They probably taste better than the store ones. That's a fact. Alright. Gotta go. See ya.